This is going to be your monthly tarot and oracle reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies for March 2025. Can you feel the energy gaining momentum? You know, everybody's been talking about how intense March is going to be. And I said to myself, okay, let's do a reading about the month. Let's do it in a different format than I usually do. So get ready to investigate this. Now we're going to go 8 decks deep. Yes, I said 8 decks deep. So bear with me here. We're going to be looking at the overall energy for this month. We're going to look at what to expect, meaning the energetic events or the challenges. We're going to look at what's unfolding, opportunities and obstacles coming your way, the shifts and lessons, and where things are headed for the month. Okay, so please, in the comments, let me know your zodiac sign and your word of the day, word of the week, word of the month, depending on when you're watching this. But let's take a look at some overall themes and messages. And we have communication. Is anybody surprised? We have a full moon lunar eclipse, blood moon in Virgo happening March 14th. The very next day, we have Mercury going retrograde. Now, also, we have Venus going retrograde on March 2nd. So, you know, this means we're going to have a lot of reevaluation. We're going to possibly have people pop up from the past. I mean, yes, Mercury retrograde does do that, but Venus retrograde also can bring back people that we've had relationships with. And, well, I advise you to use discernment. If somebody's riding in with, hey, stranger, hey there, wild thing. If you know the joke, you know, I can't believe somebody actually wrote that in my DM years ago. And it was like, yeah, no, that's quite the turnoff of an introduction or reintroduction. However, if that communication comes in and there's no change, like, oh yeah, same old, yeah, nothing new in my life, then you've got to make a conscious decision as to whether you want to entertain another round with somebody that hasn't made any changes. Now, again, the full moon in Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and then Mercury going retrograde. So strong communication, glitches, the people popping back up. It's going to be an interesting free-for-all. So communication is definitely a theme for March 2025. Now, let's take another card here and see what you need to know. And we have pride. You know, it's interesting. Pride is a bit of that Venus energy, you know, self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. And with Venus going retro, this is where you really have to believe in yourself, and you've got to be careful of any fear or masking yourself, because you don't want to be held back because of your pride or stubbornness or fear. Okay, let's see what else we need to know about March. And we have here zenith at the peak, victory, achievement, tangible abundance. Absolutely. Look, we have the possibility to have really good things, but we are going to go through a bit of tough energy in the next little while. And I don't say that to you out of fear. I just mean that the eclipse will basically signal us about the next 6 months of our lives. We're going to get a snapshot. Some things are going to be shaken up. Some things are going to eclipse in, they're going to eclipse out. You're going to be talking, you're going to be working things through, or you're going to be saying, see you later, I can't do this anymore. Again, it all depends on where you're at on your journey. And there really is no right or wrong in this process. I want to stress that to you. This is all about doing what's best for you in the moment and learning the lessons so that you can have a better future. Now, I've got multiple tarot decks ready to go here. Let's take a look at what to expect in this month, some of the events or challenges that you might see. And we have here the High Priestess. This is what's interesting. The High Priestess divulges information as you go. You're not going to get the big picture yet. You're going to get snippets. You're going to get Easter eggs. You're going to get little clues along the way that are going to, you know, invite you to search for more. And you are birthing something new here, but it will be divulged to you in due time. This is really trusting the process. This is taking things slowly. Let's take a look at what else you need to know here. You've got the King of Swords. Well, you're going to have to be logical and decisive during this time. You may have a debate in your mind about which direction to go. And you know what I'm always going to say? Are you in the old or are you in the new? And there's the Six of Pentacles. I think you're going to recognize who your people are. Six of Pentacles is about equal giving and receiving and balance, getting a return on your investment. If you're noticing that people are not communicating with you, reciprocating with you, showing interest in your friendship, your romantic relationship, your family dynamics, whatever it is, then you're going to have to sort of think about whether that relationship or that connection is for you. I've had a lot of people come to me lately and say that they feel like a lot of friends are falling to the side, meaning people you were close to before, you're not so close to now. And it is what it is. Sometimes there's a season and a reason, but I think you're going to be reevaluating a lot of your relationships, and that's okay. You've got to free up space for new energy to come through. And there is the Hierophant, which is the spiritual counterpart to the High Priestess. And let me give you a quick tarot tidbit or tip, and that is these are spiritual counterparts. The Hierophant would be considered your sort of daily 3D teacher on a spiritual level. Okay, this is where you're learning those daily lessons, you're ascending, you're taking steps up that staircase, right? She is the queen of the ethereal realm, right? She is basically the feminine energy, or the divine feminine in the 5D. This is sort of the masculine energy in the 3D. And I always say this in relation to connections, especially romantic relationships, that if you want somebody to lead in the 3D, like you want them to be in their masculine energy in the 3D, the way to achieve that is for you to be in your feminine energy in the 5D. That means receiving your downloads, receiving your spiritual information, putting yourself first, birth the new cycles, the new information on a spiritual level, and then that bring things, around for you. So that being said, let's go to our next question, which is what's unfolding? What are the opportunities or obstacles that could be coming your way in March? And we have here the moon. Well, we know that the moon, I don't mean to laugh nervously here, but this is about a full moon in Virgo ruled by Mercury, with Mercury retrograde the very next day. This is about trusting your intuition. It's about purging, surrendering, and letting go. This cat made a mad dash here because she wants to be like an eclipse and shock everybody. But the moon really is telling you to surrender and let go of the things that are no longer serving you. Okay, so let's see what else we need to know. There is the Six of Pentacles again. See what I mean? You're going to know who your people are. What's unfolding? You're going to see how relationships are shifting. You're going to see who the people are that are leaving your life. And you're also going to see the people who are coming into your life. Like I said earlier, eclipses. Oh, this cat is, look at this, eclipsing again into this reading. My goodness, everybody loves these visits from the kitty cats. I do too, but not when they mess up my cards. You're going to see the people who are leaving your life and coming into your life. And I think you're going to see both. I really do. And there's the Five of Pentacles. One thing that I want you to make sure is that you're not sitting in negative thinking or feeling left out in the cold just because somebody left. I understand that that can hurt. I want you to feel it in the moment, but I don't want it to linger with you, because the more that it lingers, the more that it manifests into a story, And I'm reminded of something that Dr. Joe Dispenza had said in one of the videos that I had watched. And it was that, okay, if you're in a bad mood, feel the bad mood. Okay. If you're angry, okay, be angry. But if you don't get out of that mood, then it's going to become your temperament. Temperament is then going to become your personality, which is your personal reality. And then it's going to continue. So you don't want to be in any negative thinking or drawing any attention to negative thoughts. You've got to basically let go of the hurt that comes with people leaving your life. Now, with that, we have here the Eight of Pentacles. There's work to do. And the thing I want to remind you is that we're here to work smart, not hard. Okay? You will get the payoff. You will get the reward, but it requires you to really put yourself out there and set yourself up for success, not setting yourself up for failure. Setting yourself up for failure would be, giving into the temptation of old energy that offers you nothing. That's the hey stranger, what are you up to? Hey, kind of things. I want you to look at what's really new, what's really changing. And again, if somebody comes in and says, look, I've done this, 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 and this is how I've healed, or I'm healing and I'm doing this and I'm embarking on new journeys, then that's really positive. But don't let yourself get lured in by things. You've already done so much work in your life. You don't want to revert back to old ways. And if you've heard me talk about this recently, last week or the week before, I mentioned how many people were coming to me saying, Kelly, I want to chase. I want to go back to old energy. I'm afraid. And it's very honest. Like, it was so brutally honest. And I appreciate that, because it means that people are really feeling this. So if you've been feeling those feelings, really, you're not alone, just so you know. Okay. Now let's take a look at the shifts and lessons. What's changing or revealing itself. And well, there's the Hierophant again. The universe is, like I said, what I said. The Hierophant, again, is this teaching and learning and taking the methodical steps. It's slow and steady. You're learning, pardon me, I'm getting passionate here. You're learning that you cannot rush this. You've got to trust the process. The more you try to rush something, the more it's going to get in your way. See, look, I was trying to rush by getting excited and saying all this information. And then look, I tripped up on my words. It's the same type of thing in your day to day. If you're pushing too hard, you're working too hard, you're going to get the resistance. And I don't want that for you. Now, with that, we have here the Devil. See what I mean? Restrictions, addictions, and codependency. You'll get held back. You've got to work through it. Do you want the short-term pain, long-term gain, or the short-term gain, long-term pain? If you're going for the short-term gain, that's the lesson. You're going to get restricted. You're not going to achieve what you're looking for. And here we have the Five of Wands, conflict. This means a back and forth, a should I, shouldn't I? Can I have this? Can I really have this? And it's kind of interesting as I'm looking at this, because we've got a 5-5, and 5-5s mean tower moments. They mean big changes ahead. And so ultimately, I want you to recognize that you can have the victory. You can have the prosperity. Again, it's telling you right here, there's the victory. But don't get in your own way. Don't be stubborn. Communicate clearly and allow whatever communication is going to come in, and then use the discernment. And the Lovers, how beautiful. You're getting a lot of lessons in love. A lot of things are revealing themselves. It could very well be also, as a side note, and I know people will love this, the Hierophant is also commitment. It can be marriage, it can be union. And so it could very well be that there's been a love connection that has felt very restricted. But again, for that relationship to grow and to get better, two people have to be willing to do the work, to bring their best to each other, to not let the restrictions get in the way or the conflict. But that can be really beautiful. I mean, I just want to make a point that in this question alone, as in the shifts and lessons, you have 3 major arcana out of 4: the Hierophant, the Devil, and the Lovers. And we've had the Hierophant twice. We've got the Moon. We've got the High Priestess. We've got the spiritual counterparts, Now let's take a look at the After Tarot. This is the energy that signals what's next. Where are we headed? Okay. So let's see. Judgment. It's a wake-up call. You are going to be encountering quite the wake-up call, and that's okay. That's what it's here for. It's meant to shift us, So this month is really going to be about what are you doing to heed the call and go through the transformation. And with that, we have here death and rebirth. There's that Scorpio energy. Look at these major arcana coming out here, these major themes. And with this, we have here the Ace of Pentacles, a tangible new beginning, new home, new job, new relationship. You're going to see so many new things emerge. And I want to remind you that all of this is a blessing in disguise. You may think that you get sort of bad luck or bad news, but understand that bad luck can actually be really good luck. Because have you ever had a situation where you felt like something was so good and then it ended up being so terrible in the long run? It works both ways. Sometimes, you don't get what you want, or it doesn't feel good, or you feel really tested. But in the end, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to you, So it's all about perspective and embracing what is given to you. And there's the Emperor, another major arcana. I mean, look at that. Look how we're sort of tying things together now about what's next. The Emperor is about making a power move. We're here to play chess, not checkers. Things are getting very serious. And also, the Emperor is the King of Kings. embodies all the energy, embodies the abundance, the nurturing, right? The fire, the decision-making, the logic, and the emotions being in check. So I think for the month of March, be mindful of your communication. Be mindful of balance and whether your relationships are really fulfilling. Are people really there for you? If they're not, you have to let them go, because you've got to allow yourself the new energy to come in. And again, if somebody's going to come in, they've got to come correct. And so do you. It goes both ways. Let's take a final card of guidance here for the month of March. Let's see what you need to know. And we have here, by the book. It's really interesting that that card would have come out, and I'll tell you why, because I'm going to go a little bit rogue on this, because I know this deck very, very well. By the way, it's number 11, which is brand new beginnings. I'll put it to you this way. There are many of you that think you need to go by the book, right? As in, you need to go by the rules. You need to always be, regimented and routined. Now, as a side note, yes, I told you with the Hierophant, okay, that yes, you take methodical steps, but that doesn't mean that you have to follow every single rule. It basically is telling you that if you're regimented so much, if you're trying to be too perfect, if you're trying to control things, like exactly going by the book, you will get resistance. So what I want you to do for March, I want you to be truly open to whatever's coming your way, even if it's uncomfortable. And I'd like to ask you, if possible, to pledge to that. In the comments, let me know that despite whatever comes your way this month, that you will embrace it with an open mind and open heart. Because this could be a total blessing. You have no way of knowing until you cross that bridge. And I'd love to know at the end of March, maybe come back to this video, save this video, and see where you're at. And if these things have shifted or changed in your life, because I have a feeling that they really will. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in the description box below. Thank you again, and I wish you an amazing month.